I have two scripts I have to write, and they're part of, they're related to this class because um, a lot of what we talk about is translation, the issues of translation, or at least a lot of what I talk about is, and maybe it goes in, it sticks or something, but the issue of having the thought and then pressing it through the tools and the of aesthetics, and then pushing it back out into the 3D with a projection, which is 2D, and the 3D, which is a thought which you can't touch, but there it is. I mean, that. And the issues of translation of going from book to film is another one, and that's what I'm working on now. And so I've been trying to make this video and had some technical problems, blah blah blah. Anyway, and and then I was like, I think I'm taking a long time with this video because I'm having a hard time translating the book to the script. So I thought, well, it is Halloween, and I was looking for my favorite book ever, and naturally, I have 8 copies of it, and none of them are around the house. That, if anyone's interested, is Ghosts I Have Been by Richard Peck. Actually, that's going to be contest number 3. Okay, that's the answer. Anyway, oh yeah, so I came across this book in the meantime, and it's also Halloween themed, and it'll actually be easy for me to walk you through it because um, it is a children's book. Okay, so taking a story and turning it into a script. Okay, Gus and the Baby Ghost. All right, hang on a second. I think I have to. Yeah, I gotta bring up some document situation here. So what we're looking at for the meta is what's the feel of the world that Gus and the Baby Ghost live in. So this is what the illustrator thought the feel was. So there's a joke there. There's the ghost doing the sheets. Okay, so we know it's lighthearted. And yeah, it's lighthearted. The ghost is smiling. And there's a little black cat. Okay. Black, white, and red was the one color. Okay. So that's good because it leaves a lot of latitude for our imagination as the designers. So let's see. All right, so here's the setup. Gus the Ghost, character A, and Mr. Frizzle ran the historical museum. Got it. All right. So, actually, let's just do this one page as a metaphor for the whole thing. Mr. Frizzle lived upstairs, and Gus had an attic apartment. Okay, so they're roomies. Cora the cat lived here and there. So there's a black cat, a random black cat. And Mouse the mouse had his own private quarters. Everyone's happy in this abode. Late one night when Gus was in charge, Cora came in and said, for a moonlit walk, pardon me, and said, a baby ghost is outside. Okay. So the world, if that was the whole film, if that's the whole story, the meta of that is peace, ritualist, like everyone has a place, and then the black cat is the random element. There's a friendly relationship, and it's a little magical world because the cat can also speak, and there's ghosts, and there's a baby ghost outside. That's funny. So the meta is going to be homey, peace, and curiosity, lightheartedness. It's going to be a light story, but I have a feeling also it's going to be a tender story. Yeah. Let me see. It's a lot of words. Wow, people were smart, huh? This is how it ends. He hangs the baby ghost washing, and there's Mr. Frizzle in the other window. So I'm taking it that means that there was a fight over if they can keep the ghost, and I think the ghost won. So good. Because that's the meta. So for our production design, our lighting is going to be soft, tungsten, indoor, warm. Actually, I think I'm going to set it in autumn because it's Halloween time, I think. And moonlit walk, so I'm going to make it a blue moon night. So I have the outside crickets and sounds, home, and then blue, and then inside warm tungsten light. Editing will be 0 point because I just want the story to seep through. And then costumes, colors. Stick in the autumn palette. So I'm gonna put Mr. Frizzle in ivy green vest, just in my head. So, as the costume designer. And let me just show you real quick script writing. Okay, so interior. The only other choice you have is exterior. So if you're in the ocean underwater, you're still outside. Exterior. Interior just means a structure that's been built by humans. Okay, interior or caves, structures. Okay, the place you are. So there's going to be Mr. Frizzle's living room, and then a time of day. So the time of day will be late evening. Okay, so in script writing, the reason it's done this way is, let's also do scene one. Okay. The problem is the first time you mention, I keep going like this because the first time you mention a character, you have to put the name all in caps, comma, and describe who he is. So I'd be like, it wouldn't be there. Actually, I can solve that problem. Okay, here. So scene one, interior, Mr. Frizzle's living room, late evening. The reason it's like that is because you're either in or out, and what you're doing, you're telling the cinematographer what time of day it is, and then so we know we're inside. So we're gonna be using light kits, for example, and then you have where living room. So now director knows where you are, actors know where you are. So the world of the film is happening in Mr. Frizzle's living room. Fine. Time of day again is for the cinematographer, late evening. So we know what the lighting and the feel by in or out, time of day. And then here's the world of the play. That's why it's written that way, okay? And then what you would do is you would go in all caps, Mr. Frizzle, and this is the first time I'm mentioning this character, so hence all caps, then back to norm. But Mr. Frizzle, comma, a middle-aged museum. What do you do? Manager at the local historical society. There. A middle-aged mousy museum. Oh, and I'm using alliteration. A middle-aged mousy museum manager. That tells the casting director everything he or she needs to know. Okay. Museum manager of the local historical society calls upstairs to his attic roommate. Okay, so now the director knows what we're doing. And then whenever you do lines, into the center, so Mr. Frizzle. Okay. And he says, ghost. Oh, ghost. Time for dinner. Okay. So, as the performer, the actor playing Mr. Frizzle would be like this. I always say to the actor as the director, okay, Mr. Frizzle, what is it that you want? Okay, what you want, that's the golden key. That's the thing that Bill Ball is always talking about. It's the verb. It's the same thing as saying, like, what do you want this film to be about? The meta, okay? So the meta of the performance is, what do you want when you say ghost? And the verb is to alert. Oh, ghost. To alert, to tease. Time for dinner, to inform. Simple. I change the verbs to intimidate. Ghost, to mock. Oh, ghost, per the 80s. And then time for dinner, to entice. Time for dinner, right? So it's the same exact words, but we change the verb, you change the motivation, the meta, it changes the performance. So the performance is in the energy. Energy is energy in motion. Emotions in motion. That's energy. Okay? Emotions. That's what makes the performance. Okay. Also, okay, so then let's say that's the end of the scene. And then at the end of the scene, you go to the other side of the page, justified right, and you say cut to or fade out. And the reason all this is done this way is I'll do cut to colon scene 2. Whatever. This is the basic format for any screenplay. Why is it like this? One page of screenplay is about a minute of movie. So a 2-hour movie is a 120-page screenplay. It's done like this because see how there's so much white. This is for notes, so that the director and the cinematographer can just look down like, okay, here's a scene, here's a scene. So in 1 minute, there's 3 scenes. Now the editor also knows this is a very short sequence here. It's every sequence is 20 seconds. Also here, cut to tells you like, right? And so and this spacing gives props and costume, like it just makes seeing everything easier, and having dialogue in the center, having directions left to right across, but dialogue in the center, and that's what makes the script understandable to all the different aspects of production. Okay, so good luck with that. Let me know if you have any questions, and happy Halloween stuff. See you later.